students, welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. In our previous lessons, we've been discussing about habitats. We talked of aquatic habitat, which is divided into three. We talked of marine habitat. We discussed about estuarine habitat. Today, we'll be looking at the last one, which is the fresh water habitat. Come along with me.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
The freshwater habitat is a body of water formed mainly from inland waters and contain very low level of salinicity. Example of freshwater we have around, you can see your river, ponds, streams, lakes and springs. They are all known to be what? Fresh water. I know you've seen a river or you've seen a pond before. That is an example of a freshwater habitat. So let's look at the types of freshwater habitats. The freshwater habitats are classified on the basis of their mobility, how they can move. Based on this, we have two types that are identified. We have the lotic freshwater and we have the lentic freshwater. When we say something is lotic, it means it is what? Flowing or running water which can flow continuously in a specified direction. They are flowing or running water. Example, we have our river, our springs and our streams. Then the next classification based on the mobility is the lentic freshwater. This includes, it means what? A stagnant water or a standing water. This water do not flow or move. Example, we have the ponds, we have our swamps, we have our lakes and we have our dams. They are known to be what? Lentic, or they are classified under lentic fresh water, which are the stagnant water that do not move. So this is an example of a lotic fresh water. This is a river and this is a spring. Lotic, they are running. They are flowing in a specified direction. While this is an example of a lentic fresh water, you can see that this water do not flow. They are stagnant. We have our pond. We have our lake. They are examples of lentic fresh water. Let's move on to the characteristics of freshwater habitats. Like I said earlier, it has what? Low level of salinicity. That means 0.5% of salt, unlike that of the marine habitat, which has the high level of salt. Please, learners, take note. Know the differences between each habitat. Number 2, the freshwater habitat is very small compared to the marine water, the marine water habitat, which is the largest of all habitats. We have the what? High concentration of oxygen is found in the freshwater habitat. We have variation in temperature. The temperature of the freshwater habitat what? Varies. We also have what? Seasonal variation, and we have the what? Current varies. We have major ecological zones of freshwater habitats. The zones of the lentic freshwater, that means the stagnant freshwater, the littoral zone. This is the shallow part of the freshwater. This zone consists of several plants and animals. Plants in this zone are spirogyra, water lettuce and duckweed, and many more. Then under this zone, we also have the benthic zone. This is the deepest part of the lentic freshwater. This zone does not have rooted vegetations, unlike the littoral zone. Then under the lotic, we also have two zones. We have the pool zone and the rapid zone. So let's look at what the pool zone is. The pool zone is a zone where the water is calm and slow, while the rapid zone is where the water is very fast, from the word rapid, very fast. Now, what are the plants? The plants that are found on the freshwater habitats. We have the water lily, we have the spirogera, water lettuce, water weed, hornwort, and duckweed. Animals found in the freshwater habitats, we have the tilapia fish, we have the hydra, we have the protozoa, we have the pond skater, and water boatman. Now, we are also going to be looking at the food chain in freshwater habitat. The food chain in freshwater habitat. Diatoms, spirogera, water lily, and most of the flowering plants are the major producers in a freshwater habitat. Don't forget, I told you earlier that a food chain must start with a producer. So, like what we have here, I said the diatoms, the spirogera, the water lily, and most of the flowering plants are the major producer in a freshwater habitat. Do not forget I said that for every food chain, it must start with a producer. So this is the diatom, that is the producer. I'm drawing this arrow. This arrow signifies what? The flow of energy from the diatom from the producer to the consumer. So the diatom is serving as the producer, while the fish fry is the primary consumer. The tilapia is the secondary consumer. So the next one, we have the diaterous, worm, shrimps, and bird. Don't forget, this is the producer. The worms will be the what? Primary consumer. When you put in your arrow, you are showing the what? Energy flow in that food chain. The shrimps will be the secondary consumer, while the bird is going to be the tertiary consumer. For the spirogera, I'm fixing in my arrow, showing the energy flow. Sorry, this should be crabs. So the spirogera is the producer in this food chain. The tadpoles is the primary consumer. The crab is the secondary consumer, while the kingfisher is the tertiary consumer. So let's look at the factors affecting the freshwater habitat. We have the factors grouped into two. We have the biotic factors and the abiotic factors. When we say biotic factors, these are just the living factors affecting a habitat. Then abiotic factors and the non-living things or the non-living organisms affecting the habitat. So the biotic factor can be divided into three here. We have the plants, we have animals, and we have the what? Parasites affecting the freshwater habitat. Let me write it here. Biotic is the what? Living organism. While the abiotic is the non-living. We also have the decomposers and the what? Predator. The predators are animals that run after the prey or feed on another animal known as the prey to get the food. So let's move on to the abiotic factor, where we have the temperature, we have the sunlight, we have the water current, and we have the dissolved oxygen. So these are my practice questions for you to practice. So I'll be giving you 2 minutes to work on this. Alright, so let's confirm, or let's do this together. You can cross-check with what you've written down. What is a freshwater habitat? A freshwater habitat is a body of water formed mainly from inland water and contains a very low level of salt. The next question says, mention the major ecological zone of a freshwater habitat. We have the littoral zone and the benthic zone. So the other question says, list the types of the freshwater habitat. I told you earlier that the freshwater habitats can be classified based on their mobility. It's divided into 2. We have the lotic and we have the lentic fresh water. The last question says, list 2 animals and 2 plants found in the freshwater habitats. 2 animals and 2 plants. For the plants, we have the spirogera and we have the water lily. And also, they serve as the producers in the food chain. Then for animals found in the freshwater habitat, we have the tilapia fish, we have the shrimps. We have come to the end of today's lesson. I hope you've gained or you've learned something new, or you've advanced your knowledge in what you already know. So for any comments, for any observation, for any contribution, you can send it to our social media handle that will be showing on the screen. So we meet again. Bye.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.